sign of your coming and the end of the age. So the first question, when will these things be, is talking about the temple being destroyed. The verse before this, verse 2, said that there won't be one stone left upon another of the temple. And Jesus had just talked about the destruction of Israel and Jerusalem. And so when will these things be is not answered here in Matthew 24. It's answered in Luke. I think it's chapter 21. The second two questions are, what will be the sign of your coming? What are the signs that we'll see in the environment, in the news, and around us? And what will it be like at the end of the age? So Jesus answered and said to them, take heed that no one deceives you. So the first words out of his mouth to answer those two questions is take heed that no one deceives you. Many will come in my name saying, I am Christ, and will deceive many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There'll be famine, pestilence, and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So the word sorrows there in verse 8 is birth pangs. So when a woman goes into labor, Jesus gives us a term where we can understand when she goes into labor and begins to get birth pangs, the birth pangs come closer and closer together and get more intense until delivery. So Jesus used that terminology, basically telling us that there's going to be wars and more wars, pestilence and more pestilence, famine and more famine, and upheaval in nature and more upheaval in nature. These are just the beginning of those pains. Now, these are the four severe judgments of God. When God judges a nation, a group, a tribe, a city, or even a person, he can bring war, famine, pestilence, or earthquakes, or bring all four or a combination of the four. And so that's the way he judges the earth. Most judgment is to bring about a change in the people's hearts. In the Old Testament, he brought war, he brought famine, he brought pestilence, he brought earthquakes and upheaval in nature to get their attention. And when he got their attention, they ran back to him and not away from him. So the beginning of the first sign is going to be, we had COVID, it'll be more COVID. We had famine in parts of the world, it'll be more famine. We'll have wars and rumors of wars, there's going to be more warshed. So we need to understand that. But what he says in it is, don't be troubled. See that you're not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 9, he says, then they'll deliver you up to tribulation and kill you. Who's he talking to? He's talking to his disciples, his disciplined believers. He's saying, then they'll deliver you up to tribulation. They'll kill you. You'll be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So true Christianity, unvarnished, uncompromised, pure Christianity is going to be hated by all nations. They're not going to agree with the Christian walk or faith. And so it's going to be hated. Even in our nation, as difficult as it may be to see, still we see that people who were raised by Christian parents and grandparents live an alternative lifestyle. So the Bible is slipping away and there's compromise in the land. And so verse 10, many will be offended. Why will they be offended? Well, we weren't taught this. We didn't know this was coming. We didn't know we would have to stand against society. Many will betray one another and hate one another. Many false prophets will arise and deceive many. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will wax cold. He who endures to the end will be saved. So this has to do with true Christians. True Christians we're going to go through not a revival, we're going to go through a refining where people are going to be offended and leave the faith. People are going to betray one another within Christianity, and there's going to be hatred between the groups. Many false prophets prophesying the opposite of what Jesus is telling us. They're going to deceive many. And because lawlessness is abounding in the culture, we're not overcoming sin. Sin is overcoming us. So Jesus is drawing an apostate church here. I believe there's going to be revival, but I believe in Christian nations like ours, there's going to be refinement. There's going to be those that are lukewarm that are going to go to completely cold, or they're going to move over to completely hot. And so in other nations like China and the Middle East and countries like that, we're going to see some revival. We're going to see God moving. I believe we'll have revival here, but not the way we've had it in the past. This is going to be under very, very severe judgment. Anyway, God bless you. Thanks for watching. I know I ran long